So we've already talked a little bit about how half or more of all scrollwork paintings are belong to sets. And we've also talked about one painting from a large set of lineage teachers. We call it the Ngor set number 1. This set is, we only know of about 20 existing compositions out of possibly 30 or more. And we've talked about one painting of Sakya Pandita Kunga Gyaltse, and we've talked about the elements in that composition. It's HAR 60691. But what I want to talk about right now is all of these compositions are done with a register. They're all the secondary figures are all aligned in rows, descending from the top to the bottom. And along the bottom, for many of these compositions, there are sets of deities, of what appears to be random deities. Now, they're not random. They'll actually have inscriptions, although all the inscriptions cannot necessarily be read because they're effaced or there's abrasions and the letters are missing. But what's very interesting about this set is the third painting in is a composition, is a portrait of the Indian mahasiddha Virupa. And the lower register of this composition begins with Shakyamuni Buddha and then 5 different forms of Manjushri. Now, what's interesting is, as the lineage goes of Vajradhara, Nairamya, Virupa, Kanha, Dhammarupa, Awatutipa, then it goes to some Tibetan teachers and then down to the founding lamas, teachers of Sakya. And what we find with these paintings up to Sakya Pandita, so from the Virupa to Sakya Pandita, all of the deities at the bottom come out of a text called the Bari Gyatsa. The Bari Gyatsa is an iconographic compilation text with initiations describing 78 different deities or variant forms of deities, such as Manjushri. The book starts with Shakyamuni, but then it immediately moves into Manjushri, and there's 12 different forms that are included in that. And so these forms of Manjushri, the first 5 are in the Virupa painting, and then the remainder of the Manjushris are in the following painting, the painting of Kanha, the student of Virupa. So now, what is also interesting is they are not arranged sequentially. They're arranged following roughly sequential, but placing with each composition starting at the middle center of the lower registry and then alternating left, right to the edges of the 2 sides of the composition, and then it moves on to the next painting and then starts again at the middle with the following the deity from following over from the previous composition, and then it alternates like in this manner, but they're not all perfectly sequential following this center and then right, left, right pattern. And it would appear that it's possible that some of them are switched just to have the colors appear more balanced for the overall composition of the lower part of the painting. Now, what's also interesting is the student of Sakya Pandita Chogyal Pagpa. The bottom register of that painting begins with a different text. It is another set of over 100 different deities, sometimes in Sanskrit called the Sadhana-mala, sometimes called the Sadhana-samucchaya. In Tibetan, it's Drub Tab Gyatso, ocean of methods. Both of these books are the Bari Gyatsa is basically a translation from the Sanskrit, but it's condensed. It's a compilation from the Sanskrit, and that was done in the 11th century. The Sadhana-samucchaya is also from the 11th century, and possibly possibly earlier as well. So it's very interesting, this set of paintings, and it's very interesting how they have two different iconographic compendium texts from the 11th century, and they're represented on the bottom of many of these compositions that are depicting a lineage teacher set. So you can press the like button, you can subscribe, you can join HAR on Patreon, and you can also make a donation on the HAR homepage.